here today. It is an honor to get to be here with your church and to see all these beautiful faces here to worship the Lord this morning. I won't take too much of your time. I just want to share a few things with you. So my name is Raymond Johnson, and I'm with the founder of Biblical Concepts Ministries, and we teach biblical concepts of civil government. And I have a network that we work with churches and pastors all across the First Coast area when it comes to local issues, moral, biblical issues. And so I'm here today representing Empower Jacksonville. That's empowerjacksonville.org. And so, look us up on Facebook, like us on Facebook. So we're here to talk about Empower Jacksonville and what our mission is. Technically, Empower Jacksonville, while we were formed by a group of Christians, in order to accomplish our mission, we are technically a legal entity that's a political action committee. And so our mission is to make sure that the citizens of Duval County can live, work, and most importantly, worship according to their faith and their conscience, and their moral conscience and faith, without fear of unjust government punishment. And we're going to explain why that is. But before I do that, I felt led this morning to share a scripture with you. I won't take but a moment. So I wanted to read Ezekiel chapter 33 to explain, really from a biblical perspective, this is why I am here. And if anybody knows, you Bible scholars know that Ezekiel 33 is about the watchman on the wall. Mm-hmm. And I feel led to be the watchman on the wall for our churches and to be a help to our pastors, because Pastor Harper is the watchman over this congregation. And I appreciate him standing up and doing what he needs to do to help be that watchman. So let's read that. I'm going to read Ezekiel 33, just a few verses. It says, "Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, When I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him forth their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, and he blow not the trumpet, and he blow the trumpet, and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet, and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come, and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them from me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that the wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul."
Man.
And so I think you can understand the warning. Let's, we're sounding the alarm here today and talking about something serious, and I appreciate Pastor Harper for that. So Empower Jacksonville was formed for one reason, and that is, several reasons, but unfortunately, about a year ago, actually of all days, on Valentine's Day, February 14th of last year, the Jacksonville City Council had succumbed to a radical movement that's going across the country, from the radical so-called, if you've heard the alphabet soup, LGBT, that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. It is a radical movement. A couple years ago that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of same-sex marriage. And so now at lightning speed, they're going across state by state, county by county, passing laws that they call a human rights ordinance, or sometimes it's known as sexual orientation, gender identity laws. And what this law has done in the city of Jacksonville, which was organized by, each state has multi-million-dollar political activist groups Here it's called Equality Florida. This is the gay and lesbian political group that works across the state. You would not believe over a 10-year period what they have accomplished. And they focused in on Jacksonville because we were the last standing city in the state, a major city in the state, that had not had one of these laws. They did this several times. In 2012, the first time it came up before the city council, we have 19 members on the city council for Duval County, and it was voted down 17-2. So they regrouped and decided to recruit and fund and elect pro-LGBT candidates through the help of the, unfortunately, the Chamber of Commerce, Fortune 500 companies are all really pushing these laws. So they were able to pass this law last year, 12 to 6. One council person didn't show up. So this was passed February 14th. The mayor, Mayor Lenny Curry, who met with pastors all across the city, promised, wanted their vote and promised that he did not support this law. Well, by law, the mayor has veto power. In order to be veto-proof, you have to have 13 votes. Well, we only have 12 votes because one council person didn't show up. And the mayor had the legal authority to veto this law, and he did not. He refused. He was prepared. He had immediately upon passage, he had a representative in the meeting before the council meeting was dismissed to say that he sent it back without his signature. So what this law does is it has added the words sexual orientation and gender identity to the city's discrimination code, and that applies in the area of housing, employment, and public accommodation. Public accommodation is the part that you all are more familiar with that allows, since you can't discriminate against not what is reality, but what anybody says or believes. So therefore, if I believe I'm a woman, I have the legal protection and legal right to use a women's restroom, a changing room, a shower facility at a gym. Ladies, if you go to the gym, a man can claim he's a woman and be in your facility. And this is major problems all across the country. Many of you probably hear the cases of the Christian bakers and Christian businesses being sued for not wanting to cater a same-sex wedding and these kind of things. So that's what this law is doing. The next step will be hate crimes laws like in Europe and Canada. I'm here to tell you, church, they're coming for you.
Yeah.
And they are arresting pastors. They've already arrested one Christian that refused to issue same-sex marriage license a couple years ago. The mayor of Houston several years ago subpoenaed 5 pastors in Houston demanding they turn over their emails and their sermons